Well, squeeze up here. Thanks. It's all downhill now, isn't it, Kelv? But I'd like to thank Kelv for introducing me to Louise and for the interview, and thanks, Kelv. And Kelv, your journey is rather different.
It is.
And I was wondering whether you could give us a little bit of a background as to how you got into this, healing work that you become.
Sure. I think. Sorry. No, it's okay. You're right. Yeah. As a kid, I remember looking on the back of my dad's car into the night sky, and I always remember thinking, "There's something out there. There's some real magic." I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was there, and I knew I had to go on a journey to find it. Then life took over. I went to the city. I got into law, trained as a lawyer in conveyancing, and then on the 7th of March 1991, 27 years ago to this very day, I was walking up Fleet Street, 6 minutes past 2 in the afternoon, and my energy just went, gone. I collapsed.
Yeah.
And cut a very long story short, from the 7th of March to the 14th of August in 91, I became totally housebound, I became bedridden, couldn't do anything. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue. Whether I had chronic fatigue, no one really knows, to be honest. And they're just labels.
Yeah.
This was a spiritual awakening for me. And I knew that right from the beginning. I knew that I had to go on a journey to forgive. And I went on that journey. I was stupid. It took me 5 years to do it, but I did it. And I knew I had to forgive my dad.
Yeah. And
it was through the forgiveness of my dad that I healed myself. And it was amazing. In the process of that, after I'd been ill for about 4 years, I met a healer called Valerie Felgate. She lived in our village. I lived in a little village called Faxted on the Essex-Suffolk border. And, she came to the house and she got her hands out, and I thought, what's this going to do? Really? What the hell is this going to do? So this was in 1994. And all of a sudden I remember thinking, what is that? I can really feel that. What is this? What is this? And it was really from there, and over the preceding year, through into 1995, that I woke up. I became very clear in my mind what I had to do. I knew I had to do energetic work. I didn't even know what I was talking about at that stage, to be honest. I had no idea. And like I said, I knew it was a journey of forgiveness with my dad. I did that, and I healed myself. It was the most amazing, enlightening moment of my life to forgive. And I went on my healing journey, and I gave my life to it, like Louise has done.
But you were sort of almost kind of bedridden for a long time.
I was for a very long time. Yeah. And it was in that time that I became very much aware of energy, of my dreams, of thoughts, of the illusion of reality. What is that? We're still not sure really. Yeah. Because there's only truth, actually, and there's many truths. And basically, in 1996, I recovered. I started off healing in our local village, and before I knew where I was, in 98, I was working at the Hale Clinic in Regent's Park, and had a lot of, interviews in the national press, Times, Daily Mail, Sunday Times, and my life dramatically changed. And I was at the Hale Clinic for 2 or 3 years. Then I joined another clinic called Vivica in St John's Wood, which was the one, well, I think it still is really, the only clinic in London that was totally integrated healthcare. So it was from surgeons to acupuncturists, psychotherapists, to healers, chiropractors, osteopaths, you name it, we had it. And it was a clinic for women and their families. We covered the whole spectrum, and that was the brainchild of Dr. Yehudi Gordon, who, I have to really clap that man, because what he did was extraordinary. And he stood out against the medical profession to bring everything in and make it normal.
Were you having sort of any sort of paranormal experiences where you begin to tune into your guides and at this point?
Yeah, I think that was one of the, I was going to use the word strangest. It was strange talking to people about it, but to me it was normal.
Yeah.
Because I'd left my past behind.
Yeah.
And I remained very much in the present. So seeing guides, seeing other beings from other places, for me was normal.
Mm.
And I remember telling Louise that when I was in Australia for the first time, I spent a whole week with another being, having the most extraordinary dialogue about this planet, about what is to come. But it was so peaceful, so loving. There is so much help out there if we can just open up to it.
Yeah.
It's not a scary thing, it's not a frightening thing.
I remember you telling me the story. Was this the Blue Mountains in Australia?
There was one in the Blue Mountains in Australia.
Yeah.
When we were out, we'd been on a 5-day hike out there.
Yeah.
And we were at about 5,000 feet. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night, probably go for a pee. And I walked out and there was this beautiful being. I say she was definitely feminine. And she was just blue. And we had this amazing dialogue. And she was extraordinary. Yeah. And then it occurred a few weeks later when I was out near Perth for a week in a very remote location down there. Yeah. And what was told there of my journey and this planet, many of those things have come true. And even from looking at that little boy who was 5 or 6 looking out the back of my dad's car, knowing there was something there.
Yeah.
We are in a massive universe of universes.
Yeah.
There's so many different. We could be here all day trying to talk about this. There are many, many, many different beings, beautiful people from all different dimensions.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great privilege that we open this. And you've always said the veils are getting thinner. And the veils are getting so thin, aren't they?
Yeah.
All the time. It's like we're actually, if you allow, this is such a beautiful thing to say, we are walking hand in hand with beautiful beings that, used to appear, but now actually we're walking with them.
Yeah. But, and Kelv, you've been a really, very highly thought of healer now for the last, 15, 20 years, really, isn't it?
22, 23 years.
Yeah. What's attracted you? I know you've always been very open-minded about things and always. What attracted you to Louise's work?
Oh my God. I can tell you. I'd heard a lot about Louise. And I thought, can it really be that good? Can it? Right?
Yeah.
And I went to her first workshop, to IQM1, there's first workshop I went to. And we were chanting, you were chanting, and I was doing my best.
Yeah.
And literally, it was in the first minute, this huge white eagle flew to me in my mind and just said, "Don't look back."
Wow.
And that was it. And I think I turned to you and I said, "I'm in. That's it. I'll do 1, 2, 3, teach it, you name it, I'm in."
Yeah.
And I really think, and I tell you, I'm not just saying this lady has something which is so extraordinary. I mean, I've been healing here 25 years.
Yeah.
I've researched healing. I've read a lot about the great Russians like Spensky, Gurdjieff, Blavatsky, you name it, I've read it. I've studied with Tibetan masters, I have.
Yep.
Louise's work, I think, is the greatest, and I'm not just saying this, is the greatest thing to come along in the last 30 or 40 years that will change the way that we look at health on this planet. And my words will come true. And I really mean that from my heart. And I know it because I've used it. Here's just a classic example. My daughter came in the other evening. She'd really hurt her knee playing hockey.
Summer.
My daughter Summer.
Yeah.
She couldn't run up the stairs. She was like, Dad, I've really hurt my knee playing hockey. Louise can explain what we do. I mean, but I worked on it took me a minute. Just took me a minute. Her knee, inflammation, tendons, muscles, blah blah blah. Within a minute, she ran up those stairs.
Wow.
And it's just by doing this, which Louise will explain far better than I. But it is, in simple form, it was erasing the blocks. It was erasing memory.
Yeah.
Louise and I were discussing this on the way up in the car. We've both worked in this field, but I haven't used IQM, which I'm going to use next week, in pre and post op work, operations we're talking about. Yeah. So next week I'm up in York. Mm-hmm. A client of mine is recovering from a triple heart bypass. Yeah. And then he's asked me to spend some time with him using IQM to invigorate, that healing process. And it's going to be an absolutely fascinating journey. And this is a man who's nearly 80, so open-minded. Yeah. And he wants to go through this process because he wants peace, he wants to get away, just let everything go, make his recovery, and enter life. Yeah. Well, what can you say? It's magic. Yeah. It is magic.
Well, IQM is going to be in very good hands, isn't it?
Yes.
Louise?
What I love about Louise is that, she lets you do IQM and then she lets you go. But it is her work. I know she'll say it's not, but actually it is.
Right.
It is because, and let me tell you why. Because it's the essence of her.
Yeah.
That is hand in hand with everyone she teaches. Yeah. So there's always going to be that essence, that power that's there. That's like a mum that holds that space, which enables us as practitioners and teachers to go out there in the world with her blessing. What can you say? IQM is going to grow and grow and grow. And people are going to be talking about it everywhere. That's what I think.
Yeah. Wonderful.